All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Wednesday, August 17th. Got a whole bunch of news for you. So I'm going to get to the election results a little bit later. We have Sarah Palin and Liz Cheney and Lisa Murkowski. So it's Wyoming and Alaska. Some of the results are in, not all of them, because of the way that the Alaska system works. They have, it's a very rural state, so a lot of the stuff comes in. I think they have a 10-day window for the absentee ballots. So we're not going to get all of the answers right now, but we have some of the answers right now. And of course, one of them is, huge news, even though it was kind of expected in regards to Liz Cheney. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But man, I also have Dr. Oz is running quite possibly one of the most embarrassing campaigns I've ever seen in my entire life. And that says a lot, because I don't know how many of you guys remember Lincoln Chafee. But if you don't, look that up. He's rivaling Lincoln Chafee with the cringiest campaign I've ever seen. And then Joe Biden signs the Inflation Reduction Act, and he gives a speech afterwards, which is not typical Biden. Not at all. In fact, it is quite the opposite. So, got a little bit of pep in his step. We'll break that down for you. Got a video on that. And then, look, the people in Trump's orbit, you got to call it what it is. You got to call a spade a spade. The people in Trump's orbit are going downski right now. I'm talking about his lifelong CFO. I'm talking about Rudy Giuliani. So these new stories are really something. But anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So Dr. Oz has gone viral yet again. And he's gone viral for all the wrong reasons. So this is a video that, it really speaks for itself. He is out at a grocery store trying to be like, "Hello, everybody. I am a normal human being who is very working class." And he's talking about how inflation is hurting Dr. Oz so bad. Or he can relate to you if inflation is hurting you so bad. Look at this.
Thought I'd do some grocery shopping. I'm at Wegner's, and
I'm at Wegner's. There is no Wegner's. There's a Wegmans, and then there's also, I don't know the exact name of this other one, but there's one that I guess ends in ERS. That's in Pennsylvania. If you live in Pennsylvania and you know the other grocery store, then post that in the comments section below. If you're listening on YouTube. We're literally 2 seconds into the video and he's already embarrassing himself. He probably hasn't been to a grocery store since 1998. All right, let me let it run a little longer here. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Thought I'd do some grocery shopping. I'm at Wegner's, and my wife wants some vegetables for crudité, right? So here's a broccoli. That's $2. Not the top.
Okay. I didn't even know what crudité was. Crystal was the one who originally showed me this video, and I was like, "Crystal, what the fuck is crudité? What is that? I've never heard of that before." And then she said it's sort of like, it's basically like veggies and dip, but I guess it's like the French hors d'oeuvre version of veggies and dip. I don't know. It's something along those lines. Dude, what are you doing?
Kind of broccoli there. There's some asparagus. That's $4. Yep. Carrots. That's $4 more. That's $10 of vegetables there. And then we need some guacamole. That's $4 more. And she loves salsa. Yeah, there's salsa there. $6. Must be a shortage of salsa. Guys, that's $20 for crudité, and this doesn't include the tequila. That's outrageous. And we got Joe Biden to thank for this. Thought I'd do some grocery shopping.
You would think that a guy who's been on TV for so long would have more natural charisma. Would, be more commanding with his presence and his personality. But he's so robotic. This actually reminds me, and credit to Michael, I think Sockdem Michael on Twitter for pointing this out. This reminds me of, and go look this up if you're young and this doesn't ring a bell for you. In, I think it was 1992, on the campaign trail, George H.W. Bush went to a grocery store probably for the first time in his life and was shocked at the barcode scanner, was like amazed by the barcode scanner. And that sort of, that blew up because it shows how out of touch he is. And here you have Dr. Oz saying, I'm here at Wegner's and I'm getting crudité. Like, he's trying to be relatable, and in the process of doing it, he accidentally proves the exact opposite. Wow. Okay, but we're not done yet. So, he also released another video. It was an ad going after Fetterman, and his line of attack against Fetterman has been, in my opinion, really stupid, because it's very one note, and it's not nuanced enough to deal with somebody like Fetterman. Fetterman has working class appeal, even just, the way he presents, how he doesn't like wear a suit, he dresses like a regular dude, he looks like a regular dude. That, in this populist era, that actually helps Fetterman. He was wearing like basketball shorts in a winter storm in a picture that went viral, last winter. So this argument of like, oh, he's a radical, he's a socialist, it's not going to land. It's not going to land because people look at him and they hear him talk and they go, no, he reminds me of my friend Jeff, who's very nice and sweet and normal, right? So he runs this ad against Dr. Oz, and in the ad, we get this still shot. He's the most radical candidate in the country, is the tweet that Dr. Oz put. And then in the ad, if you freeze it at 30 seconds, it's AOC holding up a sign that says, free healthcare for everyone. And again, he is bashing this as like, what a terrible idea. Of course, I quote tweeted it and said, free healthcare for all, like every other developed country. Oh no. Look, what he doesn't understand is that even the way that he phrased it on that sign is like the way that a pollster would frame that if they wanted to get the answer of like 80% of the country supporting that policy. Like, there's zero. They're not, okay, how do I say this? They are not characterizing it in a way that helps build their argument. Like, they could have said, socialist big government takeover of healthcare, right? Or banning your private healthcare, something along those lines. Or, I mean, I guess those are the worst ways you could frame it, right? But they don't. They do free healthcare for everyone as if that's bad. Of course people are going to look at that and think, that seems kind of based. That seems awesome. I support that. So, I mean, look, it's hard to get away from this conclusion. I think that there are probably people in Dr. Oz's campaign who don't want him to win. There are people who are actively trying to, like, sabotage him. Because this is, I mean, we're talking about election 101 stuff here. You don't frame it in a way that makes your opponent look better. You frame it in a way that makes you look better. Like authoritarian government takeover of healthcare is what you'd put, right? You put free healthcare for everyone. What are you doing? That is super based. So, but I'm still not done, man. So then you had Fetterman busting up Dr. Oz left and right over his Wegner's and crudité thing. To my knowledge, Fetterman hasn't gone after this particular thing yet. The free healthcare for everyone being in that ad, even though this screenshot sort of went viral on Twitter. But Fetterman released an ad, and I want to show you that ad so you can compare and contrast with how Dr. Oz is doing.
I'm John Fetterman, and I approve this message. The truth is our economy is a mess because of Washington. The rich, powerful, the insiders, and the lobbyists.
Already a good ad. Already a good ad. Hitting the corruption, the insiders, the lobbyists, Washington. Because that comes across to your average voter, and accurately so, as like, this guy's an outsider, and he's one of us.
They're lying about me to take the heat off themselves. It's Washington's fault. They set the rules, weakened our supply chain, and spiked inflation. But we can fix our economy. We must make more stuff in America.
Based. This is old school populism that appeals to everybody.
Cut taxes for working families. Congress shouldn't play in the...
Based. Cut taxes for working families is based. I've often said that for me, as somebody on the left, I've never seen a working class tax cut that I don't support. Why? Because working class people need more money. I don't care how you get it in their hands, but they need more money. I'm telling you, man, this guy's got political skill. Let me run that back just a touch here.
Congress shouldn't play in the stock market and take on anyone that gets in the way. That's what I believe in.
So he ends it with,
I'm John
let me play that one more
and I
time.
approve this message. The truth is, and take on anyone for working families. Congress shouldn't play in the stock market and take on anyone that gets in the way.
Congress shouldn't play in the stock market. So in other words, bringing up the ban for, DC insiders doing insider trading. You know, how Pelosi and her husband have been playing the market for years, and she has insider information that she gives to him, and then he turns around and makes these investments that, oh, would you look at that? It always happens to work out. And they are multi-millionaires as a result of it. He's hitting that. Look, man, it's a super populist ad, and this has appeal. So there's a reason why Fetterman right now is up double digits on Oz. And he is. It's double digits, son. This is supposed to be an election year that is easy for Republicans. Red wave season. And it's just not happening, at least in those Pennsylvania races. It is not happening. Now, even the governor, for the governor's race, Shapiro, is up massively, and I think it's Mastriano, and Mastriano is a total psycho, January 6th type. So, I mean, there's stuff to learn, right? There's something to learn from, for example, Warnock and Ossoff winning in Georgia. What did they put front and center in that election? Corruption. My opponents are corrupt, my opponents are corrupt, my opponents are corrupt, and oh, by the way, I'm in favor of giving you a $2,000 check. That was their campaign, and they won in Georgia. It's supposed to be a red state. And now you have Pennsylvania. This should be a layup election for Oz and for Mastriano, and they are downski. But I saved the best for last. I hope you're still with me. Saved the best for last. This is in the Daily Beast. Video shows Dr. Oz saying he has 2 houses. He actually has 10. Bruh. Bruh. What are you doing? It's a simple question for most people. How many houses do you own? But apparently it's not so simple for Dr. Oz, says Ursula Pirano, who is the person who released this article here. Let me play this video for you if I can.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Honor to meet you as well.
I wanted to ask you real quickly, how many houses do you own?
Well, I legitimately, I own 2 houses, but one of them we're building on. The other ones I rent.
Right, and one of them is the one that you marry your wife in, correctly?
Yes, actually, yeah, I'm renting that from my mother-in-law. We're building the house next to it.
Oh, gotcha. That's very cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anytime somebody asks you how many houses you own, and your initial response is, well, legitimately. What do you mean legitimately? What is it? Legitimately? What do you mean? Well, legitimately. Like, it's literally the most straightforward question anybody can ask. How many houses do you own? And I don't know, 90% of people be like, 1? He's like, well, 2, but we rent it out and we're adding stuff on. And that sounds about right. Okay, you ready for the specifics? This is glorious. In fact, according to public records, Dr. Oz owns 10 properties. A 9,000 square foot mansion in New Jersey. By the way, let me pause on this just to tell you guys, 99% of the population is already excluded from being able to afford just one of his 10 properties. 9,000 square feet? That is gargantuan, son. You could have a family of 7 or 8 and still have people get lost in 9,000 square feet. What do you mean 9,000 square feet? That's crazy. A 7,000 square foot country house in Pennsylvania. Wow. A condo in New Jersey, a piece of residential real estate in Sarıyer, Turkey, another piece of residential real estate in Sarıyer, Turkey, a Manhattan condo, another Manhattan condo, an oceanside mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, a cattle farm in Okeechobee, Florida, and a piece of residential property in Konya, Turkey, which appears to be used as a student dormitory. So they go on to say here in the Daily Beast article, Oz's wife, Lisa, owns a mansion in Maine with her family and a pool house next to Oz's New Jersey mansion. While Oz does rent out some of these properties, at times sharing them with questionable tenants, he is not renting them from others. He owns them legally and legitimately, and they make up a sizable portion of his assets, which total at least $100 million. Look, the crux of the Fetterman campaign is to paint Oz as, number one, he's an outsider. He's from New Jersey. He's not from Pennsylvania. So he's a carpetbagger. But also, he's elitist. And understand something, guys. It would be one thing if Dr. Oz was massively wealthy, right? And he doesn't lie about stuff like this. But then he also turns around and says, you know what? Raise my taxes. I want you to raise my taxes. I want to give people health care. I want to raise the minimum wage. I want to bring back strong unions. It would be one thing if that's what he was doing. Because then he would be, as they said about FDR back in the day, a traitor to his class, which we should welcome with open arms. But that's not what he's doing. He's lying about the number of houses that he has, and his policies would continue to benefit people like himself while screwing over working people. So, 100 million DZACs. Good googly moogly, son. That's a lot of money. But there you have it. Oh, one more fact to wrap up this story. Ever since the Wegners and Crudité video dropped, Fetterman has raised $500,000. $500,000. Oz is, it's almost like he's trying to lose right now. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.